For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Addison Hartsfield is suing Rachel Clark in the amount of $2,112. Ms. Hartsfield claims she had to move after her former employer unfairly fired her from her job as a live-in nanny and says Ms. Clark owes her for relocation expenses.
Okay, Ms. Hartsfield, I understand that you were the defendant's nanny.
Yes, Your Honor.
For how long were you the family's nanny?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And she terminated your employment within this time, and therefore you're suing her for $2,112?
Yes.
What is this amount for?
She terminated my employment after the 3 weeks and gave me only 2 weeks left to move, when in the contract it stated 30 days. So I'm suing for having to spend a week in a hotel. I'm suing for the moving expenses and my flight.
Okay. All right. Did the contract call for being paid for 1 month's salary if she didn't give you the 30-day notice, or that was not a term in the contract?
That was not determined in the contract, but I'm supposed to be paid for the amount of time that I was working, yes.
Okay. Did you get paid for the amount of time that you were working?
Yes, so I got paid. However, after she terminated my employment, I was left with
no
having
work,
to pay
no
for
nothing.
Exactly.
So according to the terms of the contract, which I imagine one of you has, either party has to give a 30-day prior notice, right?
Yes.
Okay. If 30 days is not given, Ms. Clark, what's the consequence in the contract?
The consequence is that she only gets paid up to the time that she worked for us.
Okay. So what about on your side? If you didn't give her 30 days notice properly and gave her less, what was your consequence as the employer?
I have no consequences.
So can I see the contract?
Yes.
All right. So then what happened, Ms. Hartsfield, as I look over the contract? So how did you find the Clark family?
Yeah, so going all the way back to the beginning, I'm from New York. So I've always wanted to move to LA, and I thought about moving to LA for a while.
Asterisk now. Addison's case seems pretty straightforward. She was fired early, given no time plan, and now she's seeking compensation for her costs. But the interesting part here is the breakdown of the contract. Addison says it was clear. She was owed a full 30 days notice before being let go. If that's the case, then why was she only given 2 weeks? And what about the money she's asking for? Is she justified, or is this a case of trying to get more than she's owed? These are the questions we need answers to, and we're just getting started.
So when I was looking for, employment and jobs, I saw a job listing for a live-in nanny in LA. And I was like, this is perfect opportunity. So I applied. She, accepted my application and, said I can move. So I made the move to Los Angeles. And then 3 weeks into working, I had a day off. So I didn't even get the chance to really explore LA like that. So I was like, this can be my day to just explore, have some time to myself. I was staying in her guest bedroom. I left that day.
So that was that the bedroom that was designated for your quarters?
Yes.
And then monthly you were earning how much?
Well, it was only after 3 weeks that I got terminated, so I didn't really get to fully get my monthly salary, but I would say around
per week, how much did you get per week then?
Oh, around, I would say like 700.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. What happened?
So, like I said, after 3 weeks, I had a day off. I decided to go and, venture out. I came back. Mrs. Clark confronts me. She's very upset. She says that when she went into my room, she found bottles of medication that were open, and she felt like this was at a danger to her kids. And so she didn't feel comfortable with me working with them anymore, and she terminated my contract and whatnot after, and gave me 2 weeks left to leave. She said that she went in there because the Wi-Fi went out or so, and the Wi-Fi router is in my room. That's
Did you
why
know
she
the
went.
Wi-Fi router is in your room?
I didn't.
And continue.
She offered that I stay, but I didn't see the point. I didn't see the point because I already felt like the whole situation was stressful. I didn't like the hostile environment that it was causing me. And she already terminated my contract. She didn't feel like I was good enough to work. She didn't feel like I was comfortable enough to be around her kids anymore.
So what did she find in your room?
She found my medications that I take for my anxiety and my depression.
What kind of anxiety medication is it? Is it just to calm your nerves? Are they prescribed?
Yeah, it's prescribed.
Okay.
It's prescribed.
Does it prohibit you from doing normal activities?
No.
Does the anxiety ever get to the point where you've done anything to, I don't know, out of the extraordinary, to hurt yourself, to hurt anybody?
No, it just calms me down because sometimes I can get a little overwhelmed.
Coming up on Justice for All.
Tell me the day that you entered into her room.
The Wi-Fi ended up going out, so when I went in her room to fix the router, medication was everywhere.
And later,
I am a well-known fashion consultant in Tucson, Arizona. And every year I throw a big, lavish, extravagant birthday themed party.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Addison Hartsfield, who is suing Rachel Clark for breach of contract.
All right, so your side of the story, Ms. Clark.
Well, I was looking to hire a live-in nanny as well as a person to manage my entire household. And I created a job posting, and Ms. Hartsfield responded to it. And I felt like she had good enough experience for me to hire her. She had worked with prior families in the past. And
Have you ever handled households like this before, like
Yes.
your letters of reference? Tell me about your prior jobs.
So I used to be a nanny.
Okay.
I was a nanny for 5 years.
Did you also manage the household as she wanted you to
Yes.
do? And did you ever have any problems with those families?
No. Respectfully, Ms. Clark, if she felt so uncomfortable with my medication, I feel like she could have reached out to the families that I've nannied for and asked them about like my prior experience and how it was.
Did you call
working
any
for
of
them.
the other families to
Yes,
get
I did.
references? And what did they say to you?
they gave really good reviews. They told me she was very good at her job. Nothing negative they had to say.
So then tell me the day that you entered into her room.
Okay, well, it had been about 2 weeks that she had been living with us. The kids loved her, and everything was going very well.
Asterisk. This is where Judge Cristina Perez drops some serious knowledge on us. She makes it clear that when it comes to live-in employees, their private space is just that, private. Rachel entering Addison's room without prior notice was a violation of her rights as a live-in employee, and that could cost her. Judge Perez explains that unless there's a legitimate reason, like suspicion of crime or immediate danger, an employer cannot just walk into an employee's room. This is a critical moment. Folks, Rachel's failure to follow proper protocol could change the outcome of this case.
It wasn't until about the 3rd week where she had the day off. The Wi-Fi ended up going out that day. So when I went in her room to fix the router, first of all, the room was a mess and medication was everywhere. And she had one of her medication bottles open, lid off, accessible. My kids could have gotten into that medication and God knows what would have happened. So I was extremely concerned, very irate. And when she got home, I confronted her. I told her, this is not okay. And I told her I was going to give her 2 weeks to leave my house. So she had every opportunity to stay there. She chose to leave.
Okay, did you speak to or get familiar with the rights of a live-in when they move into your home? Do you understand what those obligations from the employer are and what her rights are when she works in your home?
I'm not fully aware of everything, but I familiarize myself a little bit.
Okay, but because you need to, because anybody who lives in, who's considered a domestic worker, a nanny, housekeeper, et cetera, where you're providing a space for them to live, they expect complete and total privacy, period. Just like you deserve that from an employee. So her room was her room. And in order to go into her room, the employer / you needs to give her prior notice. You need to say, I need to enter your room because, by the way, the Wi-Fi router is in your room. That was not a smart place to put your living, right? Because that means you were going to be going in and out as you pleased, and you cannot do that because the law says that they deserve complete and total privacy from the employer because they're a live-in, right? This is not their house, so they need a place that has to be their own, right? So by you entering without permission, you violated her rights. Period.
Yes.
And that's where the only way you have a right to go in is if you believe a crime's been committed, you believe that she's abusing your children or she's stolen from you. Even then, it's recommended that an employer call the police before you enter because you had absolutely no right or permission to enter her private area. And you did. Everything you found afterwards or that you believe you found afterwards, in a way, can't count. Even though I understand as a mother, I'm nervous, is anxiety this is gonna happen? I would get that, right? But everything afterwards, we kind of have to put a pause on because you violated her rights by doing that. And therefore, she has every right. I mean, even the contract, she's not even suing for...
Asterisk, and there it is. Judge Perez rules in favor of Addison. The court finds that Rachel Clark did, in fact, violate Addison's privacy rights by entering her room without notice. But it doesn't stop there. Addison is awarded $2,112 for moving expenses and other costs she incurred. While she didn't get everything she wanted, she's still getting some justice. This case just goes to show how important it is to honor contracts and respect your employees' privacy. No matter the circumstances, employers need to know their legal boundaries.
You gave her 2 weeks' notice. She could have sued for 3 or 4 weeks more of money, and she's not even doing that. She just wants her flight, her hotel expenses, her moving expenses, which I believe she has a right to request from you, from your employer. Now, I can't tell you what to do next, but I would probably have to inform you. I would probably recommend that you just understand the law to protect yourself and her, okay? Right thing would have been done to sit down, talk to her, what's going on. I'm sure you have cough syrup at home. I'm sure you probably have allergy pills at home that you have in your bathroom. All of those things are dangerous to children, okay? So to point the finger, while I understand what you're telling me as a mother, is probably not the right thing to do. So based on the evidence, and for the reasons I explained, I believe that the plaintiff has every right to request for the reimbursements of the contract being terminated early, which are just the moving hotel expenses. So I will grant your claim in the amount of $2,112, okay? Good luck, ladies.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,112.
That's the last time I hired someone that's just California dreaming.
Not California dreaming, maybe you should learn your law. Thank you.
Coming up on Justice for All.
What did you want them to do?
I just wanted them to have fun. They would just walk, do whatever they want, carrying the
And this is
appetizer.
the exact hat they wore?
Yes, this is one of them.
No.
Did you know that there was going to be food on top and chips
Not until I
around the
got to
border?
the party, no.
Oh, you had no idea?
No, I had no idea what a wandering appetizer was.
Okay.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Dion Cressida is suing Belinda Inez in the amount of $1,965. Ms. Cressida claims her neighbor's children spilled food on her expensive cashmere coat and says Ms. Inez needs to replace it because the stain could not be removed.
Ms. Cressida, you are suing your neighbor, Belinda Inez, for $1,965, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain to me why you're suing your neighbor for $1,965.
So, Your Honor, I am a well-known fashion consultant in Tucson, Arizona. And every year I throw a big, lavish, extravagant birthday-themed party.
Okay,
And so
for yourself?
Yes, for myself. And so I went with a Western theme party and thought it would be really cute to have little wandering appetizers.
Okay.
Yes, and so I spoke to Belinda and asked if her kids would want to be wandering appetizers.
What do you mean by wandering appetizers?
So the kids would wear the hats and they would walk around carrying the appetizers, similar to this.
Okay.
Asterisk, Judge Perez also offers some valuable advice to employers out there. If you're hiring someone to live in your home, understand that you must respect their privacy. A live-in worker, whether a nanny or housekeeper, has the right to their personal space, and you can't just barge in whenever you feel like it. Rachel's mistake was not only violating Addison's personal space, but also not fully grasping her responsibilities as an employer. This is a reminder to everyone. Be clear about your obligations before signing a contract, and make sure both parties understand their rights.
Yes, and so...
How old are your children, Miss
3 and
Inez?
5.
And you would let your 3 and 5-year-old wander around a very lavish and extravagant birthday party doing this?
Well, I didn't really understand, like you said, what a wandering appetizer was.
Did you ask what it meant to be a wandering appetizer?
All I knew was that they might be involved with, some sort of service in the party.
And this is the exact hat they wore?
Yes, this is one of them.
Did you know that there was going to be food on top and chips
Not
around
until I
the
got
border?
to the party, no.
Oh, you had no idea?
No, I had no idea what a wandering appetizer
Your
was.
Honor, that's not true. I talked to her about the terms and
What were the terms?
No, she didn't.
basically that it was going to be a hat
That you
similar
were-
to this,
uh-huh.
and there was going to be food on it or appetizers. It's going to be chips and dip.
So the kids wore this hat for how long?
For about 2 hours with
2
break.
hours.
Yes.
A 3 and a 5-year-old wore this hat for 2 hours.
Coming up,
Who the heck do you think you are? $50 for 2 kids, 2 hours wearing adult hats, passing appetizer around in a very lavish and extravagant party?
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Dion Cressida, who is suing Belinda Inez for negligence.
Why would you even let your kids go through this torture and pain? Can you imagine these kids trying to go for 2 hours,
Yeah.
balancing an adult hat with food and chips on
And that's
top?
why I tried to help, but
why
you
would
do
you
have to
let them
understand
do
at
that
the
as a
same time,
mother?
I live such a humble life that even just being
Okay,
there
so
was
you just
exciting.
wanted to be there more than the party than caring for your kids. So
Well, my
being at
kids
the
wanted
party
to be
was
there
more
too.
important than the welfare of your children.
No, the
Thank you,
welfare of my
Your
Could
children.
they even see?
you.
Could they even see where they were walking?
No, at times they'd have trouble going up and down the stairs, but any time that they had trouble, I would always help them.
How much you get paid for this?
She gave me a $50 check at the beginning.
$50?
And I didn't even know
for
what to
3
do.
hours?
2 hours,
Of
Your
having
Honor.
2 hours?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
I mean, who the heck do you think you are? Why don't you hire waiters?
Asterisk, Judge Perez ends a case with a final warning to both employers and employees. Contract terms matter, and both sides need to be fully aware of their rights and obligations. In this case, Addison Hartsfield walked away with some justice, but the real takeaway for everyone involved in employment contracts, whether you're the employer or the employee, always make sure the rules are clear and that both parties respect the boundaries set in place. It's not just about getting paid. It's about protecting your rights, period.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I mean,
but
that is not only
my-
ridiculous, it's inconsiderate. It's kind of unheard of. It kind of tells me what kind of person you are. Why don't you put that hat on right now?
Sure, gladly.
Go ahead and
Okay.
walk around and do some appetizers. Keep it on for 2 hours. Okay, move back to your area.
Okay.
So why are you suing for $1,965?
So what happened is that from the deck of my house to the backyard was the extension of my party. And so to get down, you have to take about 3 steps, right? And so I was
Is
standing.
it cheese spilling? And you've only had it on for like a second.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great idea. I thought it was a great idea.
The bottom line is,
I made these
if you
hats.
hadn't had
Wouldn't
the
it be
kids
cute?
do such a ridiculous,
Miss
Well, if
Inez,
you had
Miss
been
Inez, please.
supervising.
I'm sorry.
I
You've
need
been
you to
supervising,
finish.
schmoozing
Miss
with my
Inez,
celebrity clients.
please
Oh my God.
concentrate. You can take it off, Cinder. She couldn't even hack it for 5 minutes.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
So how did the kids ruin your cashmere coat?
So what happened was that the children were coming down the stairs from the deck, and as they came down the steps, they tilted their heads forward where it spilled all over my cashmere coat.
I still don't understand why you are suing for $1,965. What is that for?
I tried to clean it out. The cleaners were closed. The that day because it was a Sunday. And so I took it the next day to get it dry cleaned, but they could not take the stain out. So I had to donate and buy a new one.
Not believable. Cheese stains come out of cashmere coats. Did you bring me something to prove that it was completely destroyed?
No, not today, Your Honor.
So how am I supposed to believe you? You were reckless, number one, in hiring not reckless, unreasonable, to hire a 3 and a 5-year-old to pass around chips and dip for 2 hours straight. That is kind of like almost inhumane. I don't know why you're even suing the defendant. You saved money on the party. You paid her $50. So based on the evidence, I will deny the plaintiff's claim for $1,965. Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Asterisk. Wow, what a case. Folks, Addison Hartsfield fought for what she deserved, and she got it. But what do you think? Was Rachel justified in her actions? Should Addison have been given more time to move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you're loving these courtroom breakdowns, make sure to hit